Welcome to the last day of this faculty development program. I'm so very happy that we have gone through this 5 episodes, a very long session actually on this topic, e-learning. And I'm very happy that all these 4 days you have kept active, you have interacted, you have contributed and made these sessions productive. Thank you at this point and move on to the next session. So to very quickly recall, maybe in the next 1 or 2 minutes, what we have done so far, we took a look at what exactly blended learning is, the basics of it. We also, peeped into its history, how it evolved gradually, and then what is the current status and what possibly is the future. And we also considered lots of different tools that are available to blend for the teachers, for the classroom teachers, and also, of course, for the various people involved at various stages in the process of decision making. So how this blending should happen, how it can be more productive, more rewarding, especially in the current scenario with some constraints that we have because of the pandemic or whatever. So e-learning, I told you, was waiting at the step, waiting at the door, and we just invited it in, and luckily it has come at the right time, and we need to upgrade ourselves to meet the requirements and be ready for that. And we also took a look at some methodological changes that teachers need to make so that they'll be ready to accept the new concepts, accept the new tools, use the new methodologies a little more proficiently, and meet the demands of the time. So we took a look at some methodologies that are available to us, some platforms, some conferencing tools, and some technical equipment, gadgets, etc., that are available to us so that blended learning becomes a little more successful in its implementation. So that's what we've seen so far. And today we'll go a little faster today. And maybe by 7:10, as Dr. Malish has already announced, we'll finish so that we'll have some valedictory from 7:10 to 7:30. We'll take a look at 2 or 3 things. One, what problems may arise while implementing blended learning practices? And are there any solutions, suggestions, etc.? And what perhaps is the future of these technologies? Let me begin by showing you a video. I sent a video assignment to you in the morning. I'll come to that a little later. I would like to discuss and spend some time on that, why I sent that to you and what I expected you to do with that, etc. A little later, maybe after 3 or 4 slides, but let me just share this video with you and you have to just closely watch this. There's nothing much in that. It's exactly 1 minute. And the one question that I would like you to answer after you've seen this video is, how can you use a video resource like this? It need not be exactly this. There is a video resource available on YouTube or somewhere. I have downloaded it from YouTube. The link also is there. So a video resource like that, some expert, some eminent teacher has created that and has uploaded it on YouTube, and it's available to us for use. So after seeing this video, tell me how we can use such a resource while we are teaching in the class using the blending learning technologies. One second, I don't know if the audio is playing. 1 second. Yeah, I read again.
Season 4 of 2 of Crash Course Literature. If you want to watch season 1, you can do so over here. It's season 4 of Crash Course Humanities. It might even be like season 7 or 8 if you count all the science stuff. Whatever, let's just get started. We're going to start at the beginning of literature, or at least a beginning of literature. Sing in me, muse, and through me tell the story of a man who lets all his shipmates die, lies to everyone he meets, cheats on his wife with assorted nymphs, and takes 10 years to complete a voyage that, according to Google Maps, should have taken 2 weeks. That man is, of course, one of the great heroes of the ancient world. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Odysseus, star of Homer's The Odyssey. Did I just say the odd at sea? It's a good pun. Not in the original Greek, though. Now, everyone knows that you can't properly enjoy a book until you know a lot about its author. So before we discuss the Odyssey, we're going to begin with a biographical sketch of Homer, the legendary blind poet of ancient Greece.
Okay, that was a 1 minute clip of a long video about Homer's Odysseus. Before you answer the question, before I unmute you, I would like to tell you that suppose I was using it in a regular physical class, what would I do? I would maybe use a digital board, or maybe if I have an LCD projector, I'll take this to the class and then I play it, and then my students will certainly enjoy seeing something. It was like the film shows that was shown to us when we were young students. So once in a while, we will all be invited to some kind of an open air auditorium and a film would be played for the students. So something like that can be done in a physical classroom. If you are working in a virtual classroom, what would you do on a virtual platform like maybe Zoom? And when you are teaching a lesson, maybe you will play this with or without assignment. So you will play this, and then after that you give some assignment, or maybe you give an assignment, and after that you play whatever. Now my question is, in case you are working in a blended environment, or if you want to make both things possible together, how can you use a resource like that? It can be a video related to your subject, some expert lecture or a beautiful video created by somebody, and it's already there for you. So what would you do with it in a blended learning scenario? Raise your hands, I'll unmute you, and some 2 or 3 of you can tell some creative ways of using this in that scenario. Anyone? Open to all. Yeah, I'm waiting for some responses. So what's the question? The question is a resource, a very, and we need to use it in our blended learning course. What are the 2 conditions that I suggested earlier? So if I have to use something in blended learning, it must be both physical and virtual, and it must be both synchronous and asynchronous. If something meets those 2 conditions, I think it lends itself to teaching in the blended way. Any ideas? I don't see any hands raising. I already told you that this can be used in a physical classroom very conveniently. I think it's a beautiful resource and very quite impressive, attractive. Students would love it. It can also be used the same way on a virtual platform. I see somebody writing in the chat box. Somebody says voice is not clear. Shall I try this?
I think it's better now.
Yes, sir.
Good, good. Okay, yeah. Any hands rising? Not yet. Oh, that's very sad. Maybe if you understood some tips that I gave you yesterday and the day before, how resources can be utilized productively in blended classes, in blended media, I think you can give some answers to this. Okay, I think, yeah, first hand has risen. I think Mr. Sai Kishore would like to speak, and I am unmuting Mr. Sai Kishore. Sai Kishore, you can speak now.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Good evening.
Sir, actually, I'm not sure, but I guess we need to get the literature about that particular resource.
Right.
That should be, yeah, that should be made available to the target audience, the students or faculty itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then that need to be practiced
Mm-hmm.
by the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
and then it can be demonstrated either virtual or face to face.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Sai Kishore. And then I think Shubrat also would like to speak. I'm unmuting Shubrat. Shubrat, yes, please.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good
Sir,
evening.
we can use it in our flipped class, sir. That
Right. Thank you. Yes.
yeah, because it will be more effective, and we can simplify the video if the language, the communication is being difficult to the students, but not the picture, the video itself. So we can translate in our way of communication, the way the students understand, and we can go for this flipped class. It will be more effective before we explain to them if you send the video like that, sir.
Great, great. That's good. Thank you so much. Okay, now maybe I'll give you some more ideas on that. What can be done very easily? See, if I use a resource completely on the physical platform, perhaps I've been a traditional teacher, I've been doing whatever I've been doing for several decades. If I use the virtual platform and then just present this, again, what am I doing? Already I'm conversant with some virtual platforms, and then I just show it and then my lesson is over. Now I'm asking you to use it two-way. So part of it must be done in the classroom and part of it must be done at home. Then only it becomes blended. It qualifies to be called blended learning. So what can be done in the class? What can be done at home by the students on their own, at their own pace, is the decision that the teacher has to take. I think the simplest and the easiest answer that can be given is what we did in the morning today in the form of assessment is exactly what can be done with this video too. So we have to decide whether they will watch the video in or at home, whether they will answer the assignment in the class or at home. Yesterday, I gave you one single qualifying condition. I said, whatever is interesting, let them do at home. Whatever is easy, let them do at home. Whatever is let them do at home. What is difficult, what is not so easy, do it in the class. Suppose I want to use this video. I send this video to my students a day ahead. Tomorrow I have a class, I send them this video. And I expect my students to play this video at home on their mobile phones or laptops or whatever. And if possible, I'll give 1 or 2 questions also with that, some kind of a home assignment. And I tell them that we are going to discuss these questions tomorrow. Please come prepared. So tomorrow they will have watched the video. They will have thought about the questions. They have come to the class. And I begin my class by asking, okay, if you watch the video, we are going to discuss question 1. How many of you are ready to answer this question? Do you think this, or can it be this also? Do you mind explaining that to me? Is there anybody who has not understood this? So there will be a discussion, maybe once they come to the physical class, I put them into groups and I give them some follow-up questions. If it's a literature class, I know, because I have been a student of literature and a teacher of language. So what do I do, for instance? So I create groups in my class and tell them, okay, if you had to teach this class, how would you teach it? If you had written this story, what changes would you make? If this was the beginning of the story, what do you think happened before the story began? If you were a character in this play, what would be your role? Or if you were 2 of these characters, how would you do a role play? So questions like that, which generate a lot of activity in the class, will follow after they watched it. What have I achieved? I have achieved their watching time. So if I had to play it in the class, perhaps I would need minutes to play the video. Because I have made it available to my students, I am saving that. Again, they are coming prepared, flipped. I told you what flipped learning is. So I have flipped my learning. So I have given an assignment first, and now they are coming here to discuss the difficulties. Right? So I also don't need much technology now in the class. Even in case I do not have an overhead projector, perhaps I can make my class equally interesting. So in case you find good resources, you must begin using them the blended way by carefully thinking what can be done at home and what can be done in the class. When colleges reopen, perhaps you need to experiment with this. Just having a good resource
Crash Course
is
Literature.
not enough. There are lots of video resources available on the net. Of course, I have chosen some websites that give my kind of or my needs. I'm an English teacher, and naturally, most of these resources that I've shown you on the screen relate to English language and English literature. Right? Big names like Oxford, Cambridge, Learn English, etc., are involved in producing excellent resources. Right? All that I need to do is just download them, or I can just send the link to my students if they have Wi-Fi, and they can play it on their own. If I think most of my students do not have Wi-Fi, I download that resource, I share it in WhatsApp or some other group that I have already put them in. So learning becomes fun, learning becomes easy, retention becomes greater because the students have done something around that sense of self-achievement. And if a student wants to watch it a second time, a third time, it's possible. Whereas in a physical class, suppose you take this resource to your physical class and play it, even if it's a Zoom class, even if it's a virtual class, you cannot play it multiple times. It's difficult. For the sake of one student, you cannot play it multiple times. So you are individualizing your teaching. Every student goes at one's own pace. That's in fact one of the most important advantages of e-learning now. So learning becomes interesting, individualized, personalized, and I also give the opportunity to my students. Okay, after watching that video, tomorrow between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock, if you have any questions, you can call me and ask me. Or I'm going to suggest some other platform where you can post your questions. Or I've sent it to you in a WhatsApp group. Watch that, and you can post your questions in the WhatsApp group. Yesterday, when I gave an assignment, I said, okay, post them in a particular space. You need not answer the question. One day, I asked you to post your answers in the WhatsApp group itself. One day, I said answers are not necessary at all. And today, I said, give your answers on my individual wall, not in the group. So I tried 3 different ways during the last 3 days. You might have watched it why I did this. So I was just demonstrating 3 different ways of presenting an assignment or doing something on whatever medium you have chosen. I have chosen WhatsApp. Right? There are lots of video streaming tools available to you. Free. Most of them are free of cost. Or you can use the free version if they are paid. Almost all of them have free versions. The primary level things. I think most of our needs can be met with that. Yesterday, I already gave you an indication that wherever, whenever you think that some resource, some tool is extremely useful to all the teachers, you can always impress upon your college or management to buy that for the whole college. So video streaming tools like Kaltura is there, Vimeo Live is there, even YouTube is already there, Facebook, they are all very popular. I think most of them perhaps have been used by you already. Okay, these are some video. How to use a video lesson or maybe a video clip. So you need to sometimes trim it. Sometimes use only a small part of it. Or maybe sometimes the voice audio is very low. You need to enhance that. Right? Sometimes you want to stop it here and there. Okay, or you produce your own video. Maybe the quality is not good. You need to enhance the quality, improve the quality of the video. So to do all these kinds of things, there are excellent tools available on the net, and most of them offer free services. When I say free service, please remember one thing. Anybody offering anything free must have some other gain, no? Usually a free resource comes with lots of advertisements. You must have patience to see them. Or they may ask you to buy something else. Or they may show you something that is so very attractive that you'll be tempted to buy the pro form, the professional form of it. Whatever. See, when you are getting it free, naturally, you must be willing to give something else. Okay, so screen recording tools. Okay, you want to record yourself. I think most of you, if you have not already done it, you must start doing it. As a simple exercise for today, after 7:30 today, after this class is over, every one of you, if you have never done a video recording of a lesson of yourself, please start before you sleep today. Create a 1-minute lesson, just 1 minute. Take your own mobile phone, if necessary, keep it in a fixed place, stable place, and then say something in front of it. And then you need not even share it with anybody. You just watch yourself how you are. Whatever you are doing in the physical class every day, the same thing you are doing. No, there's not much difference actually. Right? But begin doing it. So be there in the future. I mean, you cannot get stuck here. Everyone has to be a great resource. If you have to become a resource, you have to begin producing your own lessons. In fact, every one of you must have a website or maybe a YouTube channel where hundreds of videos that you have produced. I started uploading my slideshows more than 13, 14 years ago. Really, hundreds of my slideshows are available to you on websites like slideshare.net, authorstream.com. Hundreds, not one or two. Everything that I produce, right from the and there are two purposes. When I post something on the web, I am achieving two things. Like when I write a book, for instance, I am telling the world this is my book, and I would like everybody to read it, not to keep to myself. The same way, if I have created a slideshow or a video or whatever, it must be available to everybody. There is no point in keeping it to myself. The second thing is, I am declaring to the world, this resource is my own. I have not copied it anywhere. This is not somebody's. So the copyright issues are not there. Unless I have the courage and confidence, I cannot post it online, no. So these hundreds of slideshows and hundreds of videos that I created are available to people. And the same way, you must begin creating them. So the first thing, you all have to promise me that in case you do not know how to produce a video lesson, just create a 1-minute video lesson at least on your, you don't need any big equipment and all that, that's later. Going to a studio and then doing all that I showed you on the first day about my TV lessons and all that. Right, so begin doing that. So Screencastify, Screencast-O-Matic, Loom, FreeCam, AZ Screen Recorder, Active Presenter, Presentation Tube, all these on the left side are excellent recording tools. You can record yourself, and every one of them can be learned on your own, or maybe you can take the help of somebody in your college or department who is a little tech savvy. So in case you get stuck somewhere, otherwise they're all self-learning things. If you just experiment, I mean trial and error. The first time you fail, the second time you succeed. That's all. That easy. Then after you made the video, suppose you made a video of your own, a lesson of your own, you sometimes need to edit it. I just told you. You may have to improve the quality. You may have to elevate the audio level, and you may have to clip it, or you may have to remove some parts of it which are not good, whatever. So on the right side, I've given you a list of the video editing tools: OpenShot Video Editor, VSDC, Bandicoot. I used already. I showed you at least in 3 different places. I showed you how I used Bandicoot to trim my videos. Prezi, Powtoon and Animaker are slightly different. I think you can be very, like the previous video lesson that I showed you, I think you can make beautiful lessons, whatever subject. Audacity relating to audio, H5P, all these are, some of them I'm not very familiar with, but I think they're all good ones. Most of them I've just tried at least. So please become familiar with them. I'll just play again a 2-minute video about what Screencastify does and how you can use it. Some of you may know it. I think this is one of the easiest to use, and it's free. That's why I've chosen this. Of all the examples that I gave you, this I've chosen because this is free and available to you. Just see it.
Screencastify is a really simple way to record screencasts from right within your Chrome browser. Once you've installed our extension, click our icon and choose whether you want to record your browser tab, entire desktop, or just your webcam. Turn on your microphone if you want to narrate over your recording, and choose if you want to embed your webcam to add a personal touch. Once you're ready, click record and lights, camera, action. Spice up your screencast with our annotation tools. For example, shine a spotlight on your mouse to direct your viewer's eye, or draw on your recording with our pen tool. You can toggle your webcam on and off during your recording and change the location, size, and shape of your webcam. Once you're finished, click our icon again and click the stop button. Your video will automatically save to your Google Drive. Then, you can rename your recording and share it either by grabbing the Google Drive link or by publishing your video directly to YouTube. Our premium subscribers can crop and trim their videos, as well as export them as an MP4 or animated GIF. Thanks for watching and enjoy creating awesome videos with Screencastify.
Okay, that is how
Screencastify is a
works,
really
and then,
simple.
maybe you can try any others also, and lots of other resources, as I told you already in the previous slide, lots of other video editing tools, video enabling tools, etc. are available to you in the free domain. Try them and choose the one that suits your requirement and make the most of it. Then coming to the assignment that I gave you in the morning, right? What was that actually? The assignment that I gave you was a video, my own video, but my virtual video. How was it virtual? Because I made a Zoom presentation recently, about maybe 10-15 days ago. I made a video presentation, with Zoom presentation, and I took a short clip of that. I think that's about 2 to 3 minutes, 3 minutes, I think. I took that 3-minute video. And the video as it is serves only limited purpose. So if it's a live class, what will happen? So whether it's physical or Zoom, so when I'm making a presentation, that presentation is a presentation, it's a talk rather, right? And then after that, maybe a talk live stream, that's all. And after that, what happens? Nothing. But what I did is, I took that clip and I inserted some questions, notes, additional notes, right? And other things. So lots of other things also can be done. I've experimented only 2 or 3 things there. So while you are watching, what I did is, the video automatically stops at a certain point. At 1 minute 29 seconds, for instance, it stops. You cannot move further. The student cannot move further. If I send that video, the student cannot watch beyond that certain point. Why? Because there is something that stops in there. What's that? There is a question. The video stops and the question is displayed on the right side in a panel. And the student has to, depending on what he has read, what he has heard, what he has watched, he has to read the question, understand the question, and answer the question. Now, like 2-3 things can happen. One, suppose the student cannot answer the question. There is an opportunity for him to play it back as many times as you want. I told you what cannot happen in a physical class or a virtual class can happen in a blended class. So that assessment has made my lesson a blended lesson instead of just a virtual lesson. Okay, that's one. So the student can play it back till he understands and is ready to answer the question. The second thing, suppose he gives a wrong answer. Still he has not understood and he has attempted a wrong answer. There is immediately feedback. Imagine, suppose you have to teach in a regular class, and if 30 students out of 50 go wrong, how many students can you correct? Which question has been got wrong by whom? How do you know? And if students do not tell you, what do you do? There are lots of problems. Luckily here, technology allows people to individually personally get feedback relevant to that. Suppose somebody gives a wrong answer, immediately you might have seen that feedback. Question 1, there is a mistake there. That's why it does not award you marks. Right? When I go to assessment, I'll recall that. Okay, so what happens there? So the student gives a wrong answer immediately. Feedback is given to him. Oh, I don't think that's the correct answer. I think you are very close to it. Oh, that's the right answer. Very good. Hearty congratulations. Right? You have hit the nail on its head. Perfect. Excellent. Some such appreciation, support, additional inputs. Oh, think again. Do you think that perhaps you've gone wrong somewhere? Why don't you watch the TV? Some such feedback can be built into that. And what you don't even know that the student is watching it now. The system automatically generates that feedback because you're fed into that. You do it once and you use it 1,000 times, maybe in different schools, different colleges, with different groups of students. Maybe if it's good the next year again, and any number of times. And if you post it on the web, perhaps any number of students whom you do not even know will come to watch that. Right. So how many kinds of questions there? I think many of you gave correct answer in the assessment. I received quite a few replies today, and most of you have identified there are some multiple choice questions. There are 2 kinds of multiple choice questions actually. One multiple choice question where all answers are correct. Any answer is correct. Right? Whether he chooses 1 or 2. For instance, I think I remember the question is how many video lessons have you created so far? So whether you have created 5 or 20 or 30 or you have never done anything, the answer is correct. Right? All that I need is some information from you. I'm gathering information. Right. There was another multiple choice question. You had to choose one of the correct answers, and the answer, if you gave the correct answer, you would get the right feedback. Otherwise, you would be prompted to either do it again or maybe something else. There was a note which was not a question, a helpful note. The video will stop, and what will happen? So you will give some explanation, some additional note which was perhaps missing in the video. Maybe you wanted to give the meaning of a word, or you wanted to give some prompt further, right? Or you wanted to give your own reactions. So there is a note there. Then there is also a short answer question, right? Short answer question says a student has to type something, which is the best place at your home to position your camera and create a video. I think that was one of the questions, I think, something like that. So suppose you have a question like that. Then the student has to type the answer. But suppose the correct answer is books, camera, kitchen, study room, some correct answer. Suppose the student spells it wrong, right, or puts a punctuation mark unnecessarily, or maybe some such thing happens. So the answer can be wrong, though the actual answer is right. The student is right, but it marks it as wrong. So that's why what happens. So whenever there is a subjective element in that, we can say, okay, system, please don't correct that question. I will correct it later. I will give feedback on that later. So you decide which questions need immediate scoring, which questions need to be scored later, which questions need further inputs, which questions need further prompting, and all kinds of things. How wonderful it would be if you can create lessons like that. Please do that. So these are all, various, I think there are 4 of them. All these 4 are excellent tools to embed questions in videos. The first one was the one that you used in the morning. I used edpuzzle.com to create that short video, and I sent it to you on that Edpuzzle platform. I think most of you have watched it. I think I received some 15, 16 responses today, but the rest of them perhaps have watched it but did not respond. Okay, coming to the problems, the likely problems that are that may arise in the process of switching over to blended learning. So there can be policy issues, instructor training necessary. I made this point on the first day, I think, whenever new tools are enforced or offered or become essential. So the teachers have to update themselves, and instructors, teachers need to be trained. That is the government's job. And if the government does not do it, if managements do not do it, I think the whole thing can be a disaster. So unless the teachers are trained, I must appreciate Anurag management for taking this initiative now. So I think this is a wonderful platform that they've created for you and have offered you this 5-day training. I think it's free of cost. There is no registration fee, I believe. So there are so many opportunities. I think last 6 months, you've got many opportunities. Every university, every college, everyone was doing something like this. I think you might have attended many of them. And this is the experience that you need. And without that experience, again, when you go to class, you have to, draw a long face, and then you will find yourself in trouble. So redesign the course schedule sometimes because of B-learning. So you may have to redesign it. I told you again that curriculum designers, course material producers, everybody involved in the process of teaching and learning has to take care of the changes that are essential. Technology needs to be infused. Access to technology and infrastructure is one challenge. I think all of you gave me this answer when I asked you the problems. I think you said many students do not have tools, they do not have gadgets, they do not have access to internet, they do not have access to electricity. Some of them live all kinds of problems. So these are problems. I think to the possible extent, it's the teacher's job. Beyond that, it's somebody else's job. I gave you the solution already. The solution, when it's not in your hands, don't worry about that. Just in case possible, write a letter or make a representation or whatever. As far as possible, whatever you can do, whatever is within your hands, do it. For instance, updating yourself is your job. Even if your management does not offer you an opportunity to upgrade yourself in the college, maybe you can do it outside on your own. You must do it if you want to continue as a teacher. Right? All these are some problems that we have. So how B-learning solves some of these problems? I have again a short video. This is about 3 minutes. Let me play. This video shows you how blended learning solves some of the problems that we have considered. It's one of a possible solution. It's blended learning, flipped learning. I told you already, they are one and the same. And in that context, so if you find both the words being used synonymously, don't get confused. So it may be called flipped learning or B-learning. How does it solve the problems that may arise? Please watch this, and after that, maybe I'll give 2 or 3 of you to unmute yourselves, and perhaps maybe you can contribute some more solutions. This offers a few solutions. Perhaps you can offer a few more solutions. We can discuss 1 or 2 problems also. Yeah, please watch.
In a traditional classroom, the approach is generally time-based, meaning the whole class moves at the same pace. All students get the same lesson on the same day and are tested on that material at the same time. And then they all move on to the next topic regardless of their individual exam performance or if they have gaps in their knowledge. Blended classrooms are flexible enough to allow the use of a mastery-based model, which acknowledges that not all students are going to get the material at the same time. Some students might need more time to understand a topic, while at other times those same students will speed ahead. By giving students as much time as they need on a topic and letting them decide when they're ready to be tested, blended classes can help to ensure that students move forward only when they've shown that they can apply what they've learned with confidence. Blended learning, though, like any teaching approach, brings with it some important challenges. Because this approach depends on technical resources, they have to be affordable, reliable, and easy to use for both the students and the teachers. Oftentimes, there's also a learning curve that has to be navigated, especially for those that have never used technology in the classroom. Another challenge is making sure that the materials are being reliably and independently consumed by the students, and they're coming to class prepared. This can be incentivized by closely tying in-class work assignments to the content that's being delivered online, and can often be tracked with learning platforms. Finally, one of the biggest challenges to blended learning is that it really changes the role of the teacher to that of a coach and puts students in the driver's seat of their own learning, teaching them how to think as well as what to learn.
Yeah, these are the
This shift is
challenges.
an important one and requires buy-in from both the teacher and the student to be successful. When it's done right, though, blended learning can lead to a much more enjoyable and effective learning experience for both parties.
Okay, maybe let me stay on this last part of the slide for a little while. So I think the first one suggests that a teacher should become a coach. I'm sure you know what a coach is. You find coaches in the sports arena. So every game has a coach. What does the coach do? He not only teaches them the theory, but helps them practice what he teaches. So that's exactly what we need to do in classroom situations when we are using the blended form of the learning. Okay, I'm going to unmute one or two of you, and what you can do is you can tell us one or two things. Other than the problems and solutions that we've discussed here on these two slides, do you think are there any other problems and are there any other solutions, or do you think that blended learning is going to be really successful, or is it going to throw up some more problems, or your job is going to be much more easier, difficult, etc.? Shubhrat has raised his hand already. I'm unmuting Shubhrat.
Yes, sir. This blended learning is great in all aspects. You see, one part that actually we may face problem, both students and teacher. See, like if there would be technical glitches, what happened day before yesterday, since such a beautiful session is going since long, so the anxiety that was coming, why we are not getting connected, so that may interface our kind of mentality, so it may go in vain. But in all respect, I think it is very good implementation and doing it, taking the classes. So that's all, sir.
Right. Thank you, Shubhrat. I'm muting you. Before I invite the next person to speak, I just would like to answer your question slightly different, answer your statement slightly differently. Suppose I'm working in a physical class, a regular classroom, furniture, students, teacher, blackboard, etc., etc. Current fails. Suppose there is no power. I mean, is that not a glitch? That's a glitch. Suppose the bus that brings the students does not come one day. Is that not a glitch? It's a glitch. Suppose the teacher has some issue at home and then he's not able to reach college in time. That's a glitch. Right? Suppose something does not work. A switch does not work in the class. The fan does not work in the class. The furniture is not properly placed. The physical classroom. So there can be lots of glitches anyway. Don't think these are problems only in respect of using blended learning. Even in the most traditional situations also. For instance, it rained heavily here in Hyderabad. All schools and colleges are closed. So we are now working in this situation. We are doing this blended, this class, this virtual class, but outside, schools are closed, colleges are closed, students are not able to go. So this is an advantage actually over that. While the physical traditional class is not happening, this class is happening. So it all depends upon we appreciate the positive side of it, take into account the difficulties. Yeah, anyone else who would like to say anything at this point? At least one or two more people? I think you are convinced with that issue that Shubhrat raised, and also some possible suggestions that I gave, how we need to change our attitude to things. Problems are bound to be there. Okay, because there are no other answers, we'll move on. There is not much time also. Okay. Yeah, so these are very little things that teachers can do. Problems, like you all, some of you said, They are bound to be there, but the smallest things that you can do, like that 1 minute video I suggested to you, start taking some small steps. Don't worry about too many tons of tools. I attended some of these programs now. They suggest so many tools. They go on demonstrating. One tool can be demonstrated over 2 or 3 days. If I want to tell you how to use that Screencastify, it may take me 2 days. At least 3 plus 3, 6 hours I need. So let me not go to that. Let me just change my vision of it, change my attitude to it. So my focus was on the what of it, the why of it, the how of it, not the tools themselves. I have not demonstrated any tool in great detail. I only introduced some of them to you directly and indirectly. Directly here while I'm talking to you in the evenings, and indirectly through the assignments that I gave you. Okay, so use it with a purpose, not just because the principal has asked you, not because the students want it, not just because the government changed its policy, not because of those reasons. Build your passion. Do it with a purpose. Yes, I want to do this. I want to be a better teacher. I want to be an effective teacher. I want to be a passionate teacher. I will have some outcomes in my mind. I will achieve them by all means. Suppose you work with that vigor, I think success is certainly possible. Make it interactive, responsive, give and get feedback from students, create an effective support system wherever there is something likely to go wrong, right? And track learner progress, which is very easy now. Learner progress can very easily be tracked because of the technology that's available. In the olden days, it was very difficult, very limited access to digital statistical information was available. Okay, very quickly, maybe we'll spend 5-10 minutes on this assessment in blended learning. So there are some, I'll just quickly go through all of them. So these are some B-learning assessment requirements. So I think as far as assessment is concerned, what holds good in the physical scenario, what holds good in the virtual scenario, also holds good in the assessment scenario, in the B-learning scenario. Assessment is, I think it needs the same qualities, same approach. I think, for instance, an assessment must be flexible in all the places. The student and the teacher must have a lot of choice in all the places. And personalization is necessary, but maybe in the physical situation, it may be very difficult or nearly impossible. And in virtual and blended situations, personalization is extremely convenient, right? I don't need to tell you again how you can individualize the learning process. Everybody, for instance, I posted the video assignment in the morning today, maybe, I don't remember, maybe around 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, I think. So you had some 6 to 7 hours. I don't know, I started receiving responses almost instantly. I think one of you gave me the response within 2-3 minutes, I think. And some of you gave my responses a short while before I started this program. So that freedom with regard to time, place, pace, etc. are possible. That is what we call personalization. And even the choice also, maybe you can, if you look at it a little farther than that, not only time and place, maybe the level. For instance, I can have 2 kinds of questions, 5 kinds of questions, depending upon the student's level. For instance, I can tell my students, okay, you can choose any one of these levels. You can answer these questions or these questions or these questions. Why not? Right? So maybe like I told you the other day, okay, if you've finished level 1 and not compulsory, level 2 is optional. Those who have finished level 1 can move on to level 2. Those who have not finished can do level 1. And by the time we all come together for the next session, everybody must have finished level 1. Enough. That is personalization. Choice of courses, starting from there to the choice of examination pattern, etc., etc. Variety of assignments. Whenever you take an assessment, as far as possible, have a lot of different kinds of assignments. Don't give only essay questions, only short answer questions, only multiple choice questions, only a summative assignment, so only formative. No, we have a combination of them. Some video based, some audio based, some text based, some answers which they may have to speak into the microphone. Students love it. Some maybe there can be an assignment where students have to switch on their camera and respond to you. Why not? Especially in subjects like I teach, it's really wonderful. I think students will be thrilled to respond. Right? If I ask my students to send me a tweet or send me a WhatsApp reply, I think they'll be more thrilled than just, writing down those answers. Right. So self-reflection, self-assessment, authentic assessment, all these are essential in all the places, much more so in B-learning. I told you already, in fact, I don't have time to demonstrate them anymore. We did one already. This net noise we did, I think it was about 11 o'clock when I posted this. So you all, I think you did it. This will be open till 11 p.m. tonight. In case you have not done, some of you, I think, because I received only some 20-25 responses, and some of you might have seen it, but might not have responded. It will still be available to you till 11 p.m. So you can do that. The same password, the same link that I sent you will work. I wanted to demonstrate my quiz also to you, but maybe we'll skip that. But let me tell you that myquiz.org, the second one here, the second link that I posted here, is an extremely interesting quizzing tool. The difference between Edpuzzle that you used in the morning and my quiz that I wanted to demonstrate now, you can see it after going home, is that one is asynchronous, one is synchronous. I think you remember the difference I told you on the second day, I think. So what is the difference? So if every student has to do something at the same time, it is synchronous. The teacher and the student are on the same plane. They are working together and they are all working on something along together. So that is synchronous. And if students can access things, the teacher teaches and the students can listen to that anytime, like a video lesson, lesson that's posted to all the students, that is asynchronous. So what you did in the morning was asynchronous. My quiz is synchronous and it will be thrilling. And what do? So you create a quiz, you post it on my quiz, and you send a link. That 44849 you see at the bottom is the link, the pin number, and then the student gets only the pin number, nothing else. And he goes to myquiz.org, and then he enters that number, and all of them will get question 1. And then maybe suppose you said, okay, this question will be available for 20 seconds. So they can see the question for 20 seconds and within that they have to answer that. After that, they'll get the answer. Suppose you said 10 seconds to check the answer. So 10 seconds for that. Then everybody will move to question 2. And everybody will reach one's own score. So after question 1, how many marks have I got? And it also tells you how many people are above you. So 10 people have scored higher than you already. I think it will be really very interesting. I used it on many different occasions. Students, teachers, some of my friends with whom I used it, they just enjoyed it. So create a simple quiz tomorrow morning when you find some time. Create a very simple quiz, administer it to half a dozen people that you know around. And I'm sure, I think they will enjoy, you will enjoy doing that. Right? And up to, I think, 50 participants, 50 or 60, I'm not sure. Up to 50, 60 participants, it's completely free. Unlimited number of times. Any number of quizzes you can create, and any formats, different kinds of formats are there. What kind of questions, multiple choice, fill in the blanks, close, etc., matching, etc. You can create them and you can use them. Google Forms, I don't think I need to tell you, I don't think there'll be anybody who does not know Google Forms yet. The feedback form that you're filling every day is a Google form, right? The registration that you did for this program is a Google form. In case you have not tried it, you create your own Google Forms, at least as an experiment. Try one tomorrow. If you have a Google account, if you have a Gmail account, you automatically have a Google Forms account also. All that you need to do is you just go to your Gmail account, and after that, perhaps you just type forms.google.com in a separate window, and automatically it does not even ask you to re-enter your credentials. So you can just open that website, and then you have some templates there ready. Use any one of those templates. You can create a quiz, you can create a form. In case you are doing a PhD, I think an excellent tool readily available. Your questionnaire can easily go. SurveyMonkey also is similar. SurveyMonkey, Google Forms, all these. I think they're all similar. So you can try this. Create either a quiz or a form filling exercise with that. There are lots of add-ons also. So for instance, you want people to answer only once. So you can limit the number of times they can respond. You want to give a response to them after they have filed it. So maybe you can prepare a ready-made answer which automatically goes to everyone who turns in the assignment or quiz or whatever. So lots of other things can be done. You can shuffle the questions. So everybody goes the questions in a different order. Suppose you have created 50 questions and you send it to all your students. And if there is a possibility of the students copying from each other, so you can just ask it to shuffle. So one question, one student gets question number 42 first, and the other student gets question number 7 first. So I think lots of things are built to explore that, do it on your own, right? So this is one website. Maybe you can make a note of this, commonsense.org. I cannot show it to you now, but commonsense.org/education. You can remember that. That's not very difficult. So it gives you lots of good picks for your tools, lots of a list of good tools constantly updated. You can watch them and you can use them. Okay, coming to the final part of my presentation, I think I have about 10 minutes to talk to you about this. The future is not difficult to guess now, because we are already in the future. The future has already stepped in, and everything that's going to happen, we already have a knowledge of that. And more, of course, is certainly going to come. There is a little uncertain part of it, but the certain part is what's already available and it's stepping in, right? All these things are going to happen and we must be ready for that. These are the kind of things that are going to happen and that are going to be available. Just to read one or two of them, I think biometrics. I think it's going to change the way. It's not just your fingerprinting, not like your attendance. It's a lot more. It's a lot. I think the fingerprint exercise that you do when you go to college and then come back in the evening. No, that's, I think, maybe not even the tip of the iceberg. It's not even the 0.1% of what is possible with biometrics. Right? I've read somewhere that biometrics can be used to read the temperatures of students in the classroom while they are sitting and then they are listening to your lecture, and you can watch it on your mobile phone and find out who is paying attention to you and who is not. They cannot cheat you. So there are features like that. So there is technology available like that. Maybe their iris can be read, their mental status can be read, their heartbeat can be read. From a distance, all that, maybe there is a camera-like gadget in the class that is doing all this. And how easy it will be for you as a teacher if you have that kind of information. It will be really wonderful. You can manage your class much better. Which student is not able to do what, why? You know that, right? Micro learning modules, I already spoke to you about that. I made a mention of that the other day. So make your lessons as short as possible. If possible, 1 minute, 2 minute modules. Don't give the entire lecture in one go, and then split that into lots of different modules, very interesting modules. I think those who are familiar with SWAYAM, if you have done a course on SWAYAM, I think it comes like that. Most good, I think there are some bad presentations also there, but the good ones are broken into small components. I think each lesson is only 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes maximum. Right? And then broken into pieces. So you access them whenever you want. Today I do one lesson, tomorrow I do two, and day after I don't do anything, and then I come back after 4 days and I want to do it again like that. It's possible. So micro modules, that is another big area where lots of research is happening and lots of progress has already been made. Augmented reality and virtual reality, I'll demonstrate. There is a short video, my last slide, and I'll show it to you. Holography, you might have heard of that. You might have seen Microsoft demonstrating it recently. Data and analytics, big area again, right? All these are lots of things that are happening everywhere. Virtual field trips, you see at the top there. Virtual field trips are maybe all your students will be seated in your class. They are there physically, but you are taking them maybe with the help of some visual gadgets or whatever kind of technology that's going to be there. Maybe the students can go around the world, see whatever you want to show them. Right. Instant translation. Today, I think most teachers can teach only the subjects they know in a language that they know. For instance, I can speak English and then I present my lesson in English. A student who knows only German cannot sit in this class because he does not know English. But tomorrow that problem will not be there. I can have a German speaking student in my class with some gadget which automatically, instantly translates that. I attended one such program in Minneapolis recently. So when I went there, I was given a radio-like instrument and I had to plug in those buds into my ears. And as the presentation was going on, that was in English, but I was listening to that in Hindi. I just tried that. So instant translation. You might have seen it in United Nations meetings and some very big places like that already. And they are becoming more and more refined, more and more accurate, more and more convenient, cheaper. I saw in some WhatsApp message, somebody carrying a small gadget. When you are speaking to somebody, it's even instantly at that spot. Suppose you go to a place where you don't know the local language. You say something, it is automatically translating and interacting with that person. And when the other person speaks to you, it's translating that into your language and then it's helping you. So much more powerful, much more accurate, much more faster, right? Instant translation mechanisms will be available to you. And as a teacher, you must be very happy about that. MOOCs and all that, I don't need to tell you, that's of course a very big subject again. So, okay, let me come to the last slide of my presentation. So this is again a video. Maybe this video is not really the latest. This is at least 3 years old, I think, if I am correct. So 3 years ago, they thought it was future. Some of it is already there, but some of it is still yet to step into our lives. But still, I think it's very interesting from the teacher's point of view. Please see it.
Let's face it, school's not what it used to be. Today's high schoolers are learning how to fly drones and 3D printing their artwork. It's really cool, but also kind of scary. So what crazy new technologies will replace number 2 pencils and good old graph paper in the classrooms of the future? Virtual reality has been around since the 90s, but now Facebook and Google are no longer in your face, but on your face. Google's Expeditions program turns smartphones into virtual reality viewers using simple, inexpensive cardboard. And now that Facebook's bought Oculus Rift, they're planning on getting into classroom gaming as early as next year. This is the first kind of headgear that might get you into the popular crowd. 3D printing in schools is revolutionizing the art of show and tell. These printers can make machine parts, jewelry, even guns. Yesterday's arts and crafts is now modern-day engineering. Elementary-aged children are already using 3D printing to design prosthetic hands. Remember how you had to lug around heavy books and then swap them out for other heavy books from your locker? Well, now there's the cloud, saving students from back problems everywhere. But the cloud could also give teachers direct access to data on students' study habits. By doing all their homework online, students provide engagement data on how long they've spent on their assignments and whether or not they're taking notes. There's a bonus though. Major publishers could use that data to judge how effective and engaging certain textbooks are, so you could be recycling that boring algebra book. With biometrics technology, you've got fingerprint scanning to borrow library books and iris scanning instead of ID cards. Teachers will even be able to tell if you're concentrating or not during online courses using eye tracking technologies. Yikes. It's like old school projectors, but in 3D. Remember Michael Jackson's Back from the Dead moonwalk performance? Well, hologram technology in classrooms is still just a dream for now because it's too expensive. But in the future, it would allow teachers to give lessons to students across the world. Imagine taking a tour of a historic 3D model of the Colosseum right from your desk. The potential for new technology in the classroom is pretty amazing. But will it cause students who are plugged in all the time to forget what it's like to live in the real world?
Okay, so I think the last one was very interesting to me. Holograms, once they become possible, once they are into our real lives, I don't think it's very difficult to imagine a teacher replicating herself and a hologram of the teacher going to every student, maybe visiting the student's home, the hologram form of it, and then helping the student, individually personalized. So that may not be very far. So a teacher can replicate herself into any number of teachers, and then every student will have access to a personalized coach right in front of him. I think that's really wonderful. Let's all look forward to such great opportunities, great days. All that we need to do, like I began my 5-day presentation with, is get ready for the change. So if we are willing to accept that change, if we prepare ourselves, if we upskill ourselves, I think every challenge is wonderful. And I think we will have done a great service to our student community, to the community at large, and also to the universe. So wish you all the best. Thank you very much. I'll stop here, and then maybe in case of any questions, we can have some questions now. Otherwise, I request Dr. Malisha to take over and conduct the valedictory session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, anybody is having interaction or any doubts, clarification, in 2 to 3 minutes time is there. So you have anything, just you make it clear.
Yeah, we can have 1 or 2 questions. There are some words of appreciation, but there are no questions there. Somebody has clarified that my quiz limits to 50 participants. Thank you. I think Narendran says that the number of students who can take a quiz on my quiz at a time is 50. But what I suggest, I think this is a good answer, but what I did is, when I had more than 50, suppose I wanted to administer it to maybe 200 students. What I did was, I copied the quiz. I created 4 different pin numbers, and I started all 4 of them at the same time. So it was synchronous. All 200 people took the quiz simultaneously. There was no problem at all. It worked. So in case you have more than 50, you can try that. And sometimes they say 50, but actually it allows 60, 65 also. Good. Any other questions? Please raise your hands. I can't see any hands risen here. I think Dr. Malesha, there are no questions. Yes, one, please. I think Niklesh has raised his hand. I'm unmuting him. Niklesh, yes, please.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So my name is Ajay Kumar, faculty from nagaRAJU College of Commerce. So 5 days, lot of inputs. All the sessions went very productivity, sir. Productive inputs we got. So I have a general question, sir. In present pandemic condition, like what are the little more balance in our daily routine? So what are things to be taken care? I'm asking that to a student's perspective point of view as well as faculty perspective point of view. Please do address this query.
I think what I know is what everybody knows, and maybe maintaining social distance and then using a mask when you go out, and then eating the right food, drinking plenty of water, keeping yourself safe is all that I know. I'm not a medical practitioner, and I think this is all advice that I can give you. Keep safe. If you save your life, you can do a million other things to help others, to help yourself. If life is lost, nothing more can be achieved. Life is more important than anything else. So take care of yourself. If a teacher is healthy, if a teacher is in good health, I think maybe he's going to live healthy for several decades, and the wisdom that you've gained, the experience that you've gained is going to be useful to many more generations to come. That's why please take utmost care of your health, and your health comes from
For the resource person and also to the organizers. Actually, this FDP left me, I can say that a lot of homework, at least for 6 months to 1 year to get the basics of this, and then it goes on for lifelong. The credit goes to nagaRAJU sir. And also he gave us bundles of knowledge with very, very rich content. And many of the apps were new to us, and then its usage. Each app has got its unique usage. So we got to know so many apps. And one more very interesting thing about this FDP is the way nagaRAJU sir conducted the assignments. It's one of the very, very unique way to conducting the assignments. It's not like a typical, Google form where we randomly put A, B, C, D and then go. So it's not like that. This assignment is something that you really, really need to. It's like a compelling visuals, the word that used yesterday by nagaRAJU sir. It's really very, very compelling assignments. You cannot just, just tick a mark and then go. It compels us to work on it, and then it's not really, it's a one-day assignment. It takes a lot of time actually, but since we are supposed to submit it in a day, we did it. That is one thing very, very unique about this. And I consider this as an absolute stimulator for many of us. Like we will definitely start exploring all these apps in coming days. And one more very important point is this is one of the very rare FDPs where I personally was more interested in listening to the sessions than the thinking about the certificate. I really don't mind even if I'm not getting the certificate. And also the last sentence is, I really got amazed how nagaRAJU sir got hold of so many things within a span of, these 6 months or 8 months of pandemic period. I guess he had been doing this for years. That's what I believe. Thanks a lot, nagaRAJU sir, and also Anurag University for giving us a wonderful FDP. It's really, really commendable. Thanks a lot. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Sai Kishore. I think that's a really wonderful compliment that you paid me. I'm a 68-year-old person, retired from government service long ago. So yeah, maybe I started learning these technical tools very recently. Thank you.
Many of us were much, much younger than you. So we really got amazed that how you could got hold of the things.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. That's really, really commendable, sir.
So next, Dr. Seema Sharma madam is available.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, please go
Good
ahead.
evening, sir. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dr. Seema Sharma. Consider myself very lucky to be a part of this highly informative and knowledgeable FDP. With all regards, I congratulate Dr. C. Malish and his team for organizing such a great platform for people like us. Technology has made its place everywhere. I don't consider any better opportunity than this pandemic. If I calculate myself, then before this pandemic and lockdown, I was literally not aware with many of these apps, tools, software, etc. But now I happy to say that now confidently use some of these platforms by help of you. Being not so active and comfortable with technology, many times I'm not able to do practical which I learned, and after that things get piled up. And many times due to software update and system features, I was unable to do. Can you please suggest me how to deal with these? And how can I do better? Many times don't use many platforms in daily use, hence which I tend to forget. I'm heartily thankful to resource person, respected Professor nagaRAJU sir. He gave me opportunity to interact directly and solve my many confusions, and make me more confident to face blended learning challenges. And highly, I am very thankful to all of you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam. I would like to invite Saurabh Chaudhary.
This is Subrat Chaudhary, sir, Dr. Mali, sir.
Sorry, sorry. Yes.
Very,
Yes, sir.
very
Go
good
ahead,
evening to Dr. Mali, sir, and Dr. nagaRAJU, sir. Sir, first of all, I will be giving thanks to nagaRAJU, sir, that the session is, as sir was asking every time that any question, I would say, the session was beautifully crafted. And it was well explained. I think there is no doubt is being created. It is being not raised. It is well understood. And being part of such a kind of FDP, sir, I would say that it gives me a very good framework, not only me, to everybody, I think, a very good framework, and greatly expanded our understanding of the way to teach to the students. So having the depth of the subject knowledge, or having the knowledge of the subject matter, will not make alone individual to be a good teacher, but the way it has to be delivered to the students, and that too in such a testing period. So that actually, made our eyes open going through this kind of a session. And as her told, within this period, actually how the sir has been expertise on this technology and everything, I think we are not doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing at this stage. So definitely I will carry it, and I will say not a chief guest, not sir. I will say sir as my mentor, as a teacher. So thank you, sir, and thank you, Dr. Male sir, also making me part of such a program. Definitely, I wish to be invited in future of such a kind of a program amid such kind of a problem, pandemic, the difficulties that you might have taken to organize all these things, and with a heavy pour of water and cyclonic problems, still you could organize and did. And that day before yesterday, the way you did not leave, you did not give up. We'll start and we'll do it, not even if 1 hour. So it is a commendable, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you all the team, and again nagaRAJU, sir. Thank you,
Subrat. Thank you, Subrat.
Thank you, sir. And Narendran sir is here.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, please go ahead, sir.
Thank you. So actually, I should thank Professor nagaRAJU for taking the sessions in a very interactive way. The 5 days, we learned a lot. I have been using some tools like Moodle. I am using them for teaching. but the way it has to be given to students was given in the best possible way by Mr. nagaRAJU. I also have 32 years of teaching experience, but I'm also on the technology side. But the way he presented, it was very positive. How to make students to be interactive in the class, he demonstrated with us. He made us to interact. He made us to learn on the go.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Last two participant feedback is there. Priyanka Verma, madam.
Sorry, sir, I got disconnected.
Okay, sir.
1 minute, I have a few more words to say.
Okay, sir, continue.
Actually, today some on participant pointed out the problems in blended learning, and nagaRAJU sir gave a very beautiful answer that problems are everywhere. You'll have to try to overcome the problems. It was a beautiful message that I got from the doubts that the participant raised, and also whatever questions he asked, when I responded immediately within a short span of half an hour or something like that, I used to get answers from him. He was very encouraging. He was also very open to suggestions. That's why I think he is able to do things in a good way. An open mind can make us to learn a lot. That's the message I also got.
Okay, we will go with Priyanka Verma, ma'am. Okay, we will go with the last. Hello,
actually, yeah, I'm working, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Getting disconnected. Sir, actually, I used to teach synchronous communication, asynchronous communication to my students. But the way you presented, my quiz is synchronous and Google Forms is asynchronous. I was able to, I was actually astonished by hearing those technical terms related to the learning platform, sir. Thank you, sir. And I should also thank anurag University for making part of this event. This is the second event that I'm attending through anurag. The first was on machine learning. That was also organized in a beautiful way. This program is also organized in a better way. And the timing of this program, 6 to 7:30, that was well thought out, sir. Because we are all handling online classes for students.
Thank you, Professor Narendran. I think you got disconnected again.
Professor R.
Yes, sir, I got again disconnected, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Professor R. Anita.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
And my dear colleagues and friends, I'm Professor R. Anita from St. Joseph's Degree and PG College, Hyderabad. I would like to thank Anurag University for giving this platform an opportunity for all of us to attend such a beautiful, wonderful 5-day FDP on blended learning. We all never imagined that it would bring us all together and overcome this online challenges, and I'm very much sure and all will agree with me that we have all started adapting these changes. nagaRAJU sir, thank you very much for sharing with us the various interactive learning tools. It was a well-structured FDP. You made the session very lively and interactive, and the insights that we got on the various online platforms were very resourceful, sir. You explained so well, they were crystal clear. Your assignments were very interesting and stimulating, as one of them has said, that you were very, immediately you were responding to our answers and queries. That was really wonderful. And also the timing which anurag University has selected were really appreciable, because we are able to attend without any hiccups, because morning all we are taking the classes and we are doing the other work for the colleges, and this time is very comfortable to us to attend without any break. And I think we surely use the tools so that we can achieve particular outcomes that we have discussed. I will try to use them to share my stories with you and then continue.
Video is difficult, even profile photo is also okay.
Quite a good lot. I don't know why you were keeping your videos off all this time. In fact, whenever you participate in a program like this, you must keep the video cams on all through.
Maximum mobiles are not supporting, sir.
Simple rule is microphones off, videos on.
So 1 second, sir, you face the camera. So I'm taking photograph.